Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Shadowbringers. In the last episode, we fought and eventually defeated our version of Titan. Had a little bit of a control snafu there, don't know what was going on, and accidentally ended up wiping the raid, but we did get through it eventually, after a second attempt. But after the battle, we can see that the land is starting to return to some semblance of normality. Though only in this local area, it would seem, for the moment. But people are starting to feel ill, so we're going to be taking a bit of a break and heading back to Amareng and Mordsuk to kind of take a break or a rest. So that is what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and talk to Reen here and see what she has to say. Alright, it seemed like you're all having quite a serious discussion. I hope I haven't given you any cause for concern. Well, if you say so, I probably shouldn't stay in the empty any longer than necessary, though. So, do you want to take first shift piloting, or shall I? Alright, looks like we're back here. Phew, I'm glad I had you there to keep me company. I have no idea how I would have passed the time otherwise. Now that we're here, I need to find our contact from the Crystarium. But before that, I was hoping I could have a word with you. Something's been on my mind. This might not be the best place for it, though. Those creatures over there look a bit hungry. Love of... sorry about that. I had a call come in. Alright, so... when I first spoke to Thancred and Eorzea about what I'd sensed in the empty, part of me wished we could have just left it alone. I guess I was scared of what we'd find. But now that we found Eden, I know that I made the right choice. And if I had given in to my fear, I probably would have spent the rest of my life wondering what might have been. From now on, whenever I hear that voice inside telling me to run away, to hide, I won't listen. That's not who I am anymore. Even so, all the courage in the world is not going to help me decide what we should do with that girl when she wakes up. Do you remember what she said right before she passed out? Why am I here? What is happening? What if she's being controlled or forced to act against her will? Whatever's the case, it's clear that she's not a monster. She's a person like you or me. Obviously, she knows something about Eden, and we need all the information we can get. But more than that, I just want to talk to her to find out who she is and if there's anything we can do to help her. On the other hand, we mustn't forget that she's already attacked us once. I want to say she won't try it again when she wakes up. If she keeps us from reclaiming the empty, it will be all my fault. It's no good. I can't make up my mind. What do you think we should do, Ayame? Let's see. If Elfino were here, he'd talk things through with her. Yeah, we just need to find out who she is, why she's here, and what the problem is. We don't have enough information right now. And, of course, it decided to crash. Oh my. Okay, so, she'll be back. Man, having all kinds of trouble today. Getting phone calls in the middle of recording, game crashing in the middle of recording. Oh my goodness. Alright, so, So we're going to take that first option again. Alright, yeah, it's like that time in Yulmore. Even when confronting Vothri, he tried his hardest to find a peaceful solution. Hopefully, she'll be a bit more willing to listen. Until then, I'll try to concentrate on the here and now. Speaking of which, I still need to see to Eorzea's errands. The people we're on our way to meet lent us the Sky Slipper and most of the apparatus we've been using. And since we've been sworn to secrecy, I assume the same applies to them and their colleagues. Anyway, once that's over with, we can find a place to relax. Alright, so... Oh, it brought us automatically back to Morduke. Well, that's convenient. So let's find Reen. Now that we're here, allow me to introduce you to two members of our inner circle, or whatever you want to call it. That's Gulgul, who's interested in trading for any relics we find in the empty. Apparently, he mostly deals in exotic weapons and whatnot, but he's agreed to keep us supplied with whatever else we can't get from the Crystarium. Now, the ones we came to meet should be around here somewhere. Ah, Reen, what a relief it is to see you returned unharmed from your expedition. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. We were gone a bit longer than we expected. Ayame, I'd like you to meet Luri. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As representative of the Settlement Council, I am here to oversee the delivery of equipment deemed necessary to your mission. Alright, I will be on hand to provide any assistance you may require. Actually, there's something we'd like you to take care of. It's probably best not to talk about it in the middle of the market, though. I'll take it from here, Ayame. You should get some rest. But before you go, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done. We still have a long road ahead of us, but if we give it our all, there's nothing we can't handle. Alright, we got a bunch of spell speed, skill speed. Not that I really need any of that, but we'll grab it. It might fetch a good price. I see. Though it is mere supposition, it would behoove us to proceed with caution. Moreover, I would refrain from discussing the matter with Reen and Ayame until we know more. Well, I appreciate you telling me, even if it is too soon to be sure. I'm the one watching over her, after all. The Oracle of Darkness. Really? I pray it is not true. Alright. So I'm guessing Yulfort here is the one we need to talk to for the next quest in the series. Yes. Away with the ferry. Yulfort has arrived in Morduke bearing pertinent information. Okay. Ah, there you are. I'm part of the team helping with the... highly classified and very, very secret thing. Smooth. The fact of the matter is, I have come to inform you of a rather interesting development. It's about the girl who was brought back from the empty. She's finally woken up, you see. Ah, good. Yolfort, and Ayame too. Huh? And Eorzea, apparently. We heard the news from Thancred, is it true? Why yes, it most certainly is. Apparently, her name is Gaia. She claims to be a free citizen of Yulmore, though she remembers nothing of the events leading up to her attack on Eden. She's lost her memory? Parts of it, at the very least. We also cannot be sure whether she's telling the truth or if it's merely a ruse. She's yet to display any hostility, which is encouraging, I suppose. And Thancred's with her now, is he? Yes, he's taken her to Yulmore, mainly to verify what she's told us so far. Quiz the locals, that sort of thing. After that, the plan is to come back here, though they're taking rather longer than I'd anticipated. I do hope nothing is amiss. I'm guessing we're going to be heading to Yulmore, or not. Good grief, are you always this slow? At this rate, it'll be dark before we know it. The night sky returning is all well and good, but it does make each day seem awfully short. And are you still dragging your heels back there? At least act as if you've got purpose, would you? And who are you? Now look here, I'm not one of your servants. Why don't you try carrying your own luggage for a change? Ah, is that our, Ah, Thancred, you're back. Yeah, so I guess that must be our friend, hmm? You lot are a sight for sore eyes. Yes, even you, Eorzea. Gaia and I have just finished shipping her personal effects from Yulmore. I'm glad we could finally meet. Properly, I mean. So, did you learn anything useful? Other than where she lives, not an awful lot. Her supposed neighbors barely knew the first thing about her. Hells, she barely knows the first thing about herself. Her recollection of her life in Yulmore is patchy at best. But she seems convinced that she'll regain her memory if she accompanies us, and so she invited herself to join our merry band. And for her first act, she ordered me to carry her luggage. Alright, if you insist on standing around talking, might I suggest finding a place to sit down first? My feet are killing me. Then perhaps you should have chosen more sensible footwear. Still, it's not such a bad idea, shall we? Alright, so let's go speak with Gaia. Which, there she is. And, see what she has to say here. So you don't remember anything at all? Not attacking us, not falling unconscious? Such selective amnesia would rightly raise suspicion within those of a cautious mind. Yet, if she doth speak the truth, it would lend credence to my current hypothesis, though admittedly some further... Not now, Orianshi. She's only just woken up. We don't want to bore her back to sleep. In any case, I prefer to follow my instincts, and they're telling me that Gaia means us no harm. After much deliberation, I thought it only right to let her know about our work in the empty, as a sign of goodwill. After all, trust works both ways. Though I would ask you, Ayame, not to let your guard down just yet. Prudent? So you're the one I'm supposed to have fought? Come to think of it, I recognize you from somewhere. You should, considering you tried to kill me. Maybe I just have one of those faces. Or perhaps you just didn't make much of an impression? But to be honest, I do feel that since meeting you, those hazy memories are becoming slightly clearer. It's like remembering fragments of a dream, only to realize those things actually happened. It's as though my whole life has been leading to this. Thou speakest as though thou didst expect these events. I guess you could say that. It's what the fairy tells me. What? I can't see it, but it's as though there's someone else inside me, and I can hear its voice in my head. It whispers to me and lets me use its power. Magic, I suppose you could call it. Not that I know much about that sort of thing. And this power alloweth thee to tear open the fabric betwixt realities, that thou mayest call forth the ether-starved denizens of what remaineth of the 13th? Well, that's putting it bluntly. What? Was that supposed to mean something, or are you just spouting random words at me? Honestly, I don't know how you all put up with this. I've only just met him, and his insufferable prattle is already giving me a headache. Gods, I still can't believe I'm having this conversation. And I think that I was flying about in a suit of armor, waving a sword. That doesn't sound like me at all. Someone else inside you. Like Minfilia was inside me. Aye, the similarities cannot be ignored, though it is too early to say with certainty. Gaia may well be the Oracle of Darkness. The Oracle of Darkness? What does this mean? It means that you may have been right when you said she has something in common with Emmett Selk. Those who have been used as a living host by an Ascian have no recollection of events that occurred during their possession, this I know from personal experience. But Gaia seems to have some memories still, even if they're a little hazy. Moreover, she has remained in control of herself even when she heard the voice within, much like you and Minfilia. And though Reen was very much her own person, Minfilia's presence did exert a change upon her outward appearance, granting her hair and eyes a hue akin to that of our dear departed friend. It is therefore not unthinkable that Gaia's raven locks may be a manifestation of the darkness which hath come to reside within her. But I was born like this, and my parents, they both had black hair too. Or at least I think they did. It's been so long since I saw them, I can't remember too well. But enough about me. You're Minfilia, aren't you? The Oracle of Light who they were hosting in Yulmore? That's right. Though imprisoning is a better word. They kept me locked away, and I didn't know much about Yulmore and its people, or the rest of the world for that matter. I see. And how exactly did the Oracle of Light come to run with the Warrior of Darkness? Well, it started when... And she's going to go off into the whole story. Yes, I still remember the day everyone went raving mad and Lord Vothri fled. Everything after that is still a blur, though. From what Gaia's told me, she wasn't part of the mob that attacked us, but how was she able to resist Vothri's control? Mayhap 'twas the intervention of this fairy of whom she speaketh. As curious as that may be, we still don't know why she appeared out of nowhere as soon as Eden took flight. This is just a guess, but I'd say that the fairy reacted to it in some way, and for what reason, and for whatever reason, made me go after it. Yes, that seems like the only explanation. I don't know about you lot, but I've had enough nattering. I'm going back to Eden. What? But why? The fairy wanted something from Eden, and knowing what that is will bring me a step closer to discovering exactly what has been living in my head all these years. Besides, my memories aren't going to restore themselves, and certainly not through idle chit-chat, so I'm going and that's that. Gaia, wait! Insufferable. Utterly insufferable, and yet we can't well leave her to her own devices. Come on. Yeah, she's an interesting one. Alright, so let's go look for her. Apparently she's wandered off quite a bit. Get away from me! Ah, the local wildlife. Gaia! It seems I've no choice. What am I? Ah, it had a delayed effect, similar to the abilities that she had when she was fighting us. Alright. What are you all gawping at? I don't mean to stare, but it's not every day I see magic like that. So, this is the power of the fairy you spoke of? Ever since I was a child, it has whispered to me, telling me what to do. That's how I came to use its power. There are things I can't even explain. Holes ripped in thin air, terrifying creatures crawling out, ghastly-looking blades and armor appearing out of nowhere. But worst of all is the dark energy that comes from inside. This power, it feels as though it's only flowing through me and never truly mine. And even when it answers my call, it always takes a few moments for the spells to work. So in summary, you don't have control over the magic. Well, it's not as if I ever tried to control it. I haven't made a habit of fighting wild beasts. Unfortunately, it's part and parcel of traveling through Amarang, and while I understand you want answers, you're not going to find them as unprepared as you are. But if your heart is set on this, then we'll help you. I mean, think about what you're saying. You're seriously considering taking Gaia to see Eden? There's no telling what might happen if she loses control again, so the safest option is for her to stay away until our work is done, somewhere we can keep an eye on her. You must realize it's for our own good. I must concur with Thancred's assessment. At present, we know precious little of Gaia's origin, and less still of her powers. If she is indeed the Oracle of Darkness, her presence may complicate a task already fraught with peril, placing our mission and her own well-being in jeopardy. In full knowledge of the risks, dost thou still wish to pursue this course? I do. It wasn't so long ago that I was living in isolation, being held against my will. Maybe the people keeping an eye on me thought that was for my own good, too. But if we shut Gaia away for our own convenience, we're no better than Vothri and Ranjit. I've learned when someone is in need, we must reach out a helping hand, not push them away. Now it's my turn, to do for Gaia what you've all done for me. Even knowing the danger that lies ahead, I won't choose the easy way out. This is the path I've chosen. Is that good enough for you? Well, I can't say fairer than that. How about you, Eorzea? The light of thy spirit doth burn bright. Mine apologies, my dear, but we felt it necessary to test thy resolve. Let it suffice to say thou hast left no room for doubt. For what it's worth, Reen, I never doubted you, but make no mistake, the danger that Eorzea and I spoke of is all too real. If you're prepared to go through with this, we'll be right there beside you. That means a lot to me, thank you. I couldn't care less who I travel with, but if we're going to go, then let's get going already. There's supposed to be some sort of craft waiting at the Southern Watchtower, yes? Come along then, and don't fall behind. Alright, so I guess we're heading back out. Alright, there's Thancred. Alright, it might be a bit of a tight squeeze with the 5 of us, but we'll manage. Perhaps Eorzea can sit on top of our luggage? Alright, we're going to depart for the empty. Alright, well, let's talk to Gaia to finish off this stage of the quest line. Alright, so there it is. Eden, where I'll find the answers I seek. Alright, the bringer of the flood, the first Sea Eater, would it lead to my past or my future? What awaited on the path ahead I couldn't say, but I had no choice but to take the first step. Alright, so I think all we'll do is we'll stop there for today. And then we'll see where this goes for the next episode. So for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.